Uh-oh. Webcam doesn't work. Okay, let me try this real quick. Add camera. There we go! There's my pretty face. Okay, what's up, everybody, and welcome to the UGC League Season 4. My name is Captain Canuck, and I'm going to be bringing you an awesome two-game series between We Got Lategame and Perfectionvore. That is a really hard name to pronounce, but I'm going to make it work. Anyways, they got this really awesome logo. It's a big whale. I'm sure he's sitting there on the screen. But anyways, getting into this game, this is going to be the second week of games in the UGC League. I wasn't here for the first. I was out. The admins didn't let me know we had games, and they messaged me like the day before, and they were like, "Can we get a game in?" I was like, "I don't know," but yeah. Anyways, things have been crazy, but it's time for some Dota. I'm stoked. It's been a while since I've done UGC League, and so we're getting into the game. We're loading in. We got 9 out of 10 players right here. Sorry for the delays. We had to like switch over the lobby because we had the first lobby wasn't on the ticket, and then we got into the second lobby, and it was all good, except one of the players didn't make it into the new lobby. I guess he went AFK or something, expecting the game to start, and it was just... Bleh. So he finally showed up. We got the game ready to go. Perfectionvore versus We Got Lategame. Let's jump over to the game and where is it? Oh, nope. There we go. Mess up with the overlays there. But anyways, we're good to go. We're in the game. I'm hopefully unmuted. Yeah, okay. I've done that a few times where I've like gone to the webcam, ranted for a bit, and then realized like, oh crap, I had myself muted that whole time. But no. We're good. We're good. Everything's good. And this guy is taking a really long time to load in. Come on. Don't. No, if this game drops, man. If this game drops, I'm going to be so sad. Oh, no. He's on TeamSpeak. He's apparently going. Okay. Alright. Going back to the overlays, boys. We'll get this figured out in just like 2 seconds here, and we'll be underway. Give me a second here. Go back to the match title. Get rid of that. I'll be 2 seconds. This hopefully should get sorted out real quick. Alright, let's try this one more time. Hopefully this works out. We'll see what happens. Actually, that was one of their stand-ins, I guess, and they just booted him out, so... I think they actually switched to player there, but I think that's preferable because that'll mean they'll have more of their full rosters, so... We should be good. Should be good. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Come on! Alex Baby ZZ. You can do it, buddy. You can do it. Cheering for him like the little engine that could. Oh, man. I think it's the slot. Oh, no, there he is! There he is! We're in it. We're good to go. Yeah! Okay. So, this is it. I'm stoked. Anyways, so we're in the game right now. I apologize if I'm sneezing or if I'm a little bit stuffed up during this cast. I got crazy allergies going on. You know, the first couple weeks of summer, you got everything floating around in the air, and oh man, it's been the worst. I've been having those sneezes that just kind of come and they sit right on the tip of your nose and they're ready to go, but you don't actually sneeze. You just sit there and look like a goof while you hold your mouth open. You're like, But I've had a number of those, and it has really, really sucked. So if I kind of just shut up for a second and then freak out, that's probably why. But we're going to try to keep the allergies on the down low. I'll try to mute myself if anything gets too crazy. But that said, we're into the game, and We Got Lategame. I'm going to ban out the Pugna. First ban. That's, it's interesting. It's definitely interesting. I mean, Pugna, not a hero that you see banned all that often. He's not really picked or banned or anything all that often. He's just kind of... He's a hero that just kind of shows up every once in a while for a really aggressive push strategy of some sorts. But he is going to make his way into this game today, or he's not going to make his way into this game. And yeah, that's gone. Io! Banned out by Perfectionvore. See, I like that because it's kind of a play on like, well... I don't know what that's playing. Like, it's a play on Perfectionvore, but they kind of turned it into an orca by adding vor, so it's like something that eats something else. I don't know.
5 seconds remaining.
It's a funny name, but yeah. These guys are taking a lot of time on the bands, man. Like, usually the first 4 bands are just like, snap, snap, let's go. Undying Gyro, Queen of Pain, gun, let's do this, but they're taking their time, they're thinking about it. Both teams going into their reserve time for the first 2 bans, and finally we get the second ban out there by We Got Lategame. They're going to ban out the Dirge, the Undying, and he's not going to be making his way into this game either. Gyrocopter, Quap still in the pool. What are some of the other big name heroes that we've seen a lot this patch? I don't know. I remember a very a good interview with S4, and he was talking about how you know, it's all about AoE this patch. It's all about bringing in the big team fights and making sure that your team has both AoE control and damage. And, you know, I tend to agree. I mean, Undying, very good at that. Gyrocopter, very good at that. Queen of Pain, massive AoE damage. I mean, that's what these heroes are built for. And that's why they're so popular. Leshrac, another one right off the top. So we'll see how this game plays out, as there's only 1 ban left, and there's still a lot of these top-tier potent heroes sitting in the pool waiting to be picked up. So we'll see what they choose to go with. But like I said, wasting a lot of time on these bans. Like, down to a minute left in their first stage of bans. Like, this is hard to commentate. I mean, I guess this means that the rest of the draft will go nice and quick and I'll have a lot to talk about, but jeez, man. Did they disconnect or something? Can I check the chat? Oh, wait, okay. So, oh yeah, somebody from Lategame disconnected and reconnected a bunch, but... okay, so they were just taking their time. Axe banned out by Perfectionvore. Alright. So it's gone out of the pool, and now onto We Got Lategame for their first pick. As always in Best of 2 series in the UGC League, the home team, which is very arbitrarily decided by how the website matches up the teams, the home team gets a the home team gets to pick their side on the first game, and actually no, sorry, they get to pick whether they want first pick or not on the first game, and then they get to pick their side in the second game, and then vice versa for the for their opponents. So We Got Lategame have selected to take the first pick this series, and well, for this first game of the series, and they're taking their time on it. Jeez, man. Should have just left the overlay up a little bit longer. I think this is probably why all the big studios tend to just jump into the draft halfway through. You know, they talk forever, they have their analysis and whatever, and then they jump in. They're like, "Hey, look, halfway through the draft, we're almost done." And then they get a lot of interesting stuff to talk about. But me, I got nothing. I don't have an analyst panel to throw to. This is really rough. But anyways, We Got Lategame. Down to about a minute left in their reserve time on their first pick. Come on, there we go, Gyrocopter. You didn't have to think about that long. It's a pretty easy one. But anyway, Gyro going to be picked up this game, and this hero, man, he's off the chains ridiculous. His early damage is just insane because of Rocket Barrage. His late game damage is insane because of Flat Cannon. I mean, there's the squeaky door in the background. It'll might pop up once more throughout here, but my apologies. Anyways, Lich and Abaddon. That is interesting. Perfectionvore going for some very defensive pickups right out the gate. I mean, you give that Frost Armor and that Aphotic Shield to any hero, really, and they can become an unstoppable machine. Quite often we'll see this combination running with things like Weaver, like high single target damage dealers that need to stay alive, that are very, very squishy. But Leshrac going to go to We Got Lategame, so they've picked themselves up 2 of those heavy AoE damage dealers that we've talked about before. But Abaddon tends to fare very well against that stuff because he's pretty much guaranteed to be healed to full during his ultimate now. Because, I mean, Leshrac can turn off his Pulse Nova, but usually the upside of not giving Abaddon the health is not worth the downside of stopping doing damage for 5 seconds. So, Leshrac tends to just leave the Pulse Nova on. Abaddon soaks up a bunch of free damage. Same with Gyrocopter. I mean, if he throws down that call down, that's a lot of nuke damage that, you know, can't really be stopped once it's already set in motion. So Abaddon, a hero that works very well against both of these two. Lich, not so much. He's pretty squishy and tends to get eaten alive by things that, by lots of magical burst damage. And I mean, that's what we got between these two heroes already. So we'll see what role the Lich plays, but I'm still looking for Perfectionvore to kind of pick up that one big super damage dealer that they want to rely on, like a 4 protect 1 type of strategy here. Perhaps we'll see an anti-mage. I don't know if it'll be AM, but you know, maybe a Weaver, maybe something. What's another hero that's ridiculously squishy and benefits from a lot of shields?
10 seconds remaining.
Dota2.com, Heropedia. That's what I want to look at because I can't think of heroes off the top of my head without looking at them. I used to have a poster right across from my desk and I could just look, but now it's behind me. Anyway, Shadow Fiend and Ancient Apparition banned out for now. Perfectionvore wanted to make sure that their heals are sustained and cannot be interrupted by that AA ultimate, and we got Lategame. Fearing that Shadow Fiend is going to be that one position damage dealer that we talked about, and like I said, that would have been a very, very good one. I mean, you get that Shadow Fiend in the middle of a battle with all of that added survivability on him, and he's going to do some serious work. Phoenix going to be banned out as well by We Got Lategame, so a little bit of that AoE team fight that I don't think they're planning on picking up themselves, but Coddle now picked up by Perfectionvore. I'm wondering if this is going to be a one-position Abaddon now. I mean, you know, Lich is very, very common seen in the offlane and even in duo offlane, so I'm not going to put it past them to, you know, switch that Lich out to a higher position than that 4-5 role support. But you know, there's a lot of interesting combos that this draft can work on now. And I'm kind of wondering if we're actually going to see... Oh, we could see an Alchemist this game for Perfectionvore. They might have been thinking about this from the very start. You got 3 heroes with Aghanim's upgrades on the field right now. You've got 1 hero that's really, really good at holding waves and making sure towers don't fall. And you got 2 heroes that are really, really good at making sure your hero survives and farms well in lane. I think this could be an Alchemist game. I mean, it would be cheesy as all hell, but, you know, why the heck not? First game of the series? Could be it. I don't know. Dazzle going to get picked up by We Got Lategame here, so... you know, getting some counter heal of their own, got some survivability on the field of their own, but you know, what's that really going to matter? I'm still waiting for the shoe to drop on Perfectionvore's side, because they've got, like I said, they've kind of got a lot of heroes that indicate a lot of weird stuff, and they haven't really shown us what the weird stuff is going to be yet. So we'll see what that is. What if they run like a mid lane Naga Siren or something and just try to really stall this game out? Just counter push the hell out of everything, get the Alchemist, and just get him to farm everybody in Ags, and just laugh at the fact that they're, you know, every hero is 7th slotted at the end of the game. But no, it's going to be a Wraith King. So they're just going for all out beef. Just straight up beef. I mean, you throw the shield and, well, both of the shields on the Wraith King, throw him into the middle of a fight, and he's going to do some work before he dies. And then he dies, and then you got a whole nother team fight to start off after that. So I'm liking their draft so far. Abaddon and Wraith King basically both have 2 lives each, and so it's going to be really hard to kill this team. But that said, there is a lot of damage available on We Got Lategame, and provided they have the mana to continue dishing it out, they are going to continue dishing it out. I mean, that Leshrac, he needs, you know, once he gets that Bloodstone, it's pretty hard to stop him from just dishing out more and more damage throughout the course of a team fight. And, you know, you basically have to kill him, and whether or not they can do that is another question. They got the Dazzle on the field, there's heals, there's Shallow Grave, there's stuff to keep the Leshrac and the Gyrocopter alive. And now this Night Stalker is going to be... going to be interesting. It counters the Keeper of the Light quite well, because even if that Coddle goes for an Ags, if Night Stalker gets an Ags, what, there's a 1 or 2 minutes of overlap daytime between all of the darknesses. So Night Stalker is just going to be doing absolute work against this Coddle. I mean, you know, save for Mana Leak, there's not too much the Keeper can do to get away from a Night Stalker as well if the Night Stalker's chasing him down. So I think Stalker's going to have a really, really good game this game, and... we'll see how it plays out. No mana burn or anything of that sort on the side of late game yet. No like Slarks to, you know, burn out stats or whatever. So Wraith King's probably going to be able to get his ultimate off in almost every single fight. Heading out to the final couple bans here. Spirit Breaker banned out by Perfectionvore, not wanting to have to deal with that kind of global aggression. It's looking already like the Leshrac is going to go into a support position because of the fact that that Night Stalker was picked up. You can't always run the offlane Night Stalker, and it works decently, but I think the mid Night Stalker is probably going to be the preference here, and, you know, Leshrac will opt for that support role, which is totally fine. I mean, Leshrac tends to get a lot of kills just because of the nature of his hero, and that tends to give him a lot of gold regardless of his position. Even if he ends up support, it's not unlikely that you'll see him pick up a Bloodstone or an Aghanims or anything like that. You know, even just a Eul Scepter is good enough for that hero to start doing some work. But we'll see what Perfectionvore goes for here as their 5th pickup. Like I said, a really beefy and a really kind of odd lineup, but we'll see how this works out. Maybe they're going to be looking for another kind of beefy strength hero. Oh, okay. All right. They go the complete opposite direction. They pick up that Wind Ranger. That's probably going to be heading towards the off lane. I'd imagine this is going to be a... no, mid-Wind Ranger. Maybe a duo off Lich Abaddon, actually. That makes a lot more sense. Wraith King and Keeper of the Light in the lane together is very, very potent. They can shut down most offlaners with the Illuminate spam, and, you know, Coddle giving the mana over to Wraith King so that he can throw out the Wraith Fire Blast. So I think we're probably going to be seeing duo lanes here. The Wind Ranger on the mid, the Lich Abaddon off lane, and then the Keeper of the Light, Wraith King is safe. We got late game themselves. I think it'll probably be more of a defensive tri-lane setup here. They're going to have the Gyrocopter with the Leshrac and the Dazzle. Night Stalker either in that off lane or the mid. We'll see with this last pickup what they're opting to go for. But yeah, that'll reveal itself. Ricky going to be the pickup. Okay, so everything's taken for a spin. This is probably an off lane Ricky? I'd assume so. I don't know what else they would go for. Maybe a mid Ricky, but that seems like it would get owned real bad by Wind Ranger. I mean, you get a Sentry Ward drop down in mid and suddenly that lane is done. So, not quite sure, but we'll see what they do here. I think presumably is the mid lane player for We Got Late Game as well, so I think he's going to head towards mid and Ricky off lane, which is fairly good. I mean, you know, it's kind of the same as any other Invis hero in the mid lane. You know, you put a Clinks over there or something, or Bounty Hunter, and, you know, they don't have a lot of survivability. They just kind of rely on the fact that they can go invisible to stay in XP range. They find themselves a little nook in the trees, they get some XP, and, you know, eventually they start to pick up farm later on in the game.
5 seconds.
As soon as the last player from Perfectionvore jumps in, grabs his hero here, we're going to be underway, and, this will be it. First game of a 2-game series here in the UGC League. Switch those overlays over, get into the game, and of course the ceremonial 0-minute pause has to come out. It looks like the Wraith King isn't there. Come on, guys. Come on. This is the second time they've ended up AFK, but someone's saying hi over on the map here. Hola, Effie. Who's Effie? Is that somebody in Twitch? You watching? Effie, they say hi to you. I don't know who you are. Playing X's and O's. Oh, gets denied. Oh, what? He screwed up. He screwed up. Okay. Anyways, I guess let's introduce the players while we're just sitting here and see what happens. Lokarn going to be taking that Ricky. Hora on the Gyrocopter. Dory on the Leshrac. We're going to have Pornorative? Or Vovan Pornorative. Okay, I don't know. He's going to be playing Dazzle, and we got presumably on the Night Stalker. Up towards the side of Perfectionvore, we got Duke on the Abaddon, Galanti on the Lich, Alex Baby on the Wind Ranger, and Kronosh on the Keeper of the Light. We've also got Ale Bellamy, and he'll be taking that Wraith King as soon as he shows up. I've got one of them muted. Let's undo that for the course of this game, but someone must have been a not-so-nice person in a pub. Mr. Vovan. Oh, man. I'm gonna flame him if he messes up this game. Yeah, that'll make me feel better about myself. Probably reported you too. How do you feel about that? Also, forgot to mention that this wonderful little camera square in the top corner of the map here is my good friend Lurkaderp. She's going to be providing us some stats throughout the course of the game. I'm sure she said she wasn't feeling. Ah, there it is. There it is. She was waiting for me to introduce her. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, this is gonna be it. Yeah. So Lurka's gonna be providing me some stats. She said she wasn't feeling too well, so she might duck out for a bit. So if I'm requesting stats and she doesn't show up, no fault of her own. I'm pushing her beyond her limits. I'm making her stat for Dota when she's feeling bad. She's playing Guild Wars when I messaged her. Oh, come on, where is this guy? Come on. Well, I've introduced the stats, I've introduced myself, I've introduced the teams. Game unpausing? Alright. Yeah, late game's gonna unpause. I don't blame him. This has been a long time. I mean, he wasn't in the lobby forever. We finally got the lobby going. They picked, and the guy's still not there. Like, I don't know. I hope this doesn't turn into any bad blood here, but yeah, I think late game has every right to unpause at this stage. So hopefully no flamerino towards them. I'll actually check the rules real quick and see what the rules officially say about unpauses. I'm pretty sure that after a reasonable time you're allowed to unpause. Starting match setup, forced forfeits, stalling a match, or stalling for time is not allowed. If a team stalls for time, that game can be claimed forfeitable. Stalling can include any of the following: having one or more players refusing to join the team lobby, staying in spectator mode during the exceeded 15-minute time limit to get ready for the match, roster player swapping after the 15-minute mark of getting ready. Sportsmanship? Nope. Matching gameplay setup. Gyrocopter remains most picked hero of 684, 43% out of pro games. He is less popular in UGC play and is the 9th most picked, but still has a respectable 58% win rate in the league. And actually, that's an interesting but possibly misleading stat, as UGC League has only been operating for 1 week in Season 4, and I believe Season 3 only had 1 or 2 weeks of play in patch 6.84. So he, maybe? I don't know. Lurka might be able to correct me on that, but I think there's only been like 3 total weeks of play on 6.84 in UGC between Season 3 and 4. So Gyrocopter wouldn't have been picked up all that much because pro play hasn't been, well, league play hasn't been going on. Per dat, Doty's played in 26 games of UGC 6.84. Okay, so that is a pretty respectable number, but yeah, fair enough. Oh, this pause is taking quite a while. This is not good, man. Yeah. Okay, so I got the players messaging me asking what pauses are like. Okay. Alright, well, I guess we're going now. Actually, Control F, pause. Server pauses. Teams may only pause for technical difficulties or real-life problems. Each team should keep a pause time to a minimum. A team's total pause time during a game may not be longer than 10 minutes, regardless of the duration of individual pauses, unless it's agreed upon by both teams in chat. Teams must immediately announce in chat the reason and expected duration of the pause. When the game is paused, both teams must state in chat that they are ready before the game can be unpaused. Teams who abuse pauses or unpauses will be suspended from the league. Yeah. Okay, so it looks like that's, yeah. So it looks like they had 10 minutes, and unfortunately it did look like they were kind of stalling it out, like their player wasn't here. They just kind of did the draft, tried to stall it out as much as possible. That's probably why they wasted all their reserve time. But anyways, I won't get too far into it. I'll leave that up to the admins. But either way, the game is underway now. So yeah, we're going to have like an offlane duo here with the Lich Abaddon. This is going to be actually really, really potent. But somebody actually messaged me. I don't know who it is. Huff. I'm not sure if he's watching, but I guess... I have so many people on my friends list that I don't know who they are. So my apologies to you, buddy, if you're watching. But he called that it's going to be a support Night Stalker, and indeed it is. We have the Night Stalker down here with the Dazzle and the Leshrac taking up that mid lane, and Ricky off towards the off lane. So a little bit of an interesting laning setup here by We Got Lategame, but that 4-position Night Stalker has been a lot more popular lately than the mid Night Stalker for sure. And you know, it does work. It does work. I mean, you get him up a few levels, you get him up to an Aghanims in the mid-late game, and, you know, he can start to really mess some stuff up. So, you know, I don't blame him for making this choice at all, and it's going to work out really, really well. Got a high ground ward up here for P-War so they can see absolutely everything that they need to. That's going to give the Wind Ranger a really big advantage in this mid lane. It's always good to get that on the Leshrac as well. Like, if you can get a ward sitting up here as the Leshrac, it works well because your lightning can only bounce to things that you can see. So if your opponent's standing on the high ground away from the creeps and the lightning can't spot them out, then you know, they're not going to take that harass damage that you want them to. So good call. Up there on the top lane, we've got a sentry ward down. Actually, wait, no, this is a Radiant sentry ward. So it looks like the Ricky has brought his own to make sure that they can't see him. And there's one more sentry being dropped by Keeper of the Light here, or in his inventory rather. But if that goes down and the Ricky can snag it, he should be able to get away from pretty much anything. So good foresight by him to bring that sentry over towards that off lane. Duke gonna run over here, look for that 2-minute rune. He's gonna pick it up for himself. It's just a bounty there, and we got the Dazzle Night Stalker going to check it out for themselves, but they're just a little bit too far behind. Oh my god, mid lane! First blood goes to Dory as he just nukes down the Wind Ranger, chases her down, and gets one last auto attack. And it looks like her Wind Run was used a little bit aggressively, and you know, the Leshrac just turned that right back around. So relatively easy kill there on the mid lane for first blood. Dory doing work. Presumably we got late game up 1 kill to nothing, 2 minutes 30 seconds into this game.
Not for you.
Top. Ricky continuing to be an absolute pest here, and you know, like I said, they've got that other sentry, but they're scared to drop it because they know he has one in his inventory. So I think they're going to wait until the moment that they can. They're absolutely sure that they can find a kill. You know, the Wraith King gets a good Wraithfire blast off. They charge up and illuminate. Maybe they can chase him down. Then they drop the sentry, and even if they don't kill him, they force him out of lane. And oh, this could be trouble here. Actually, he's kind of caught in the trees, and they're looking to bring him down. They drop the aggressive sentry ward, but Ricky turns right back around, kills theirs, and goes. Wow, actually, that fade time. What happened there? He attacked the ward. That should have revealed him for another 6 seconds, shouldn't it? Oh, that's weird. Hey, somebody's saying hi to me in chat. What's up, Rudy? Rudy? Dude, I don't know who you are. I wish I did, because you're calling me out, and that's awesome, and I love you, but I don't know who you are. So many usernames, man. I had to start buying a bunch of Steam badges so that I could increase my friends list, because I have so many captains from so many teams and so many people that I stream with that my Steam friends list has been full for the last 2 months. So if anyone's trying to add me, that's probably why you haven't been able to. But yeah. Anyways, Ricky looks like he's got himself in a really comfortable position now, as he's got both of his sentry wards down to de-ward the enemies there. And you know, as this permanent invis fade time goes up and up and up, he's going to be doing a lot better. I mean, once it gets down to his 4 seconds, he should be easily and happily running around this lane free farming. So Ricky's doing really well in this off lane. They got the mid lane almost won by most standards, and actually Dory might find another kill here as he goes for Alex here. Okay, he doesn't go for the stun. I think if he had thrown the stun, the lightning, he could have gotten Alex Baby really close to down. You know, that wind run's always going to get him away from the auto attacks, but yeah, we'll see. I don't think he would have gotten the kill there, but he definitely could have nuked the Wind Ranger down to the point where she either has to get a lucky rune or go back to base. And, you know, it's almost looking like that right now for her. As, oh, does she have a bottle on her way? Oh yeah, she had the bottle. She turned it back around so that she could pick up her boots as well. So she's got that coming out to her, so she'll be getting some mana pretty soon. But for now, she's got no way to stand in this lane, no harass, and has to keep the last little bit of mana she has for that win run. Does have her bottle now, though. She's going to be okay. It looks like she'll be bottle crowing that right back. Oh, that courier's ugly. What is that? Oh my god. It's like Shagbart fell into a pool of radioactive goo. I don't know. Anyways, top lane, engagement. Nightstalker runs up here, throws out a void onto the Abaddon, and Ricky goes for a little runny spinny-do around in the trees and does manage to escape the prying eyes of Perfectionvore's safe lane there. They still don't have any detection, so they have no way to see him, and he's being very careful regardless, running around in the trees, making sure not to get too close to the wave, because if he gets too close and they do have detection, it's just a matter of one click from him being dead. Ricky has a 100% win rate in UGC play in the one and only game he's been picked, so alright, fair enough. You have one game, your averages always look good.
Regeneration.
Fortunately, the same can't be said for my bowling abilities. Play one game, my average is 20. He's not good. I don't bowl much. I think people who do are weird. People should only be playing Dota. Oh, good stun catches Alex there in the mid. Forced him to win run away. That's a good amount of wasted mana there. And Dory's doing really well for himself in this mid lane. He's picked up that healing salve, so he's going to heal himself up. He's got the arcane boots as well, so just fat mana everywhere, and drops the null tally even to squeeze a little bit more mana out of that. So he's got all he needs to make that lane work. Down on bottom, a little bit of pressure coming in towards the tower. They get the wave up there, but it's going to get pulled back, and no real significant damage to this tower quite yet. Hora is happy just sitting here farming away, doing his own thing. Presumably going to run over towards the mid. Just going to apply some pressure to this Wind Ranger. Like I said, that high ground ward right here is really, really good as a Leshrac. You know, it's good in any team, but as a Leshrac particularly, just because of the way lightning works, you can do a lot with that. So, presumably going to hang around for a little bit. The Wind Ranger staying really far back, making sure she doesn't get herself in any trouble. Not going for the level 6 Focus Fire, which we've seen a lot more recently. I mean, Focus Fire has been seeing a little bit more love since 684, and as well since Slasher's build has become more popular. You know, that Focus Fire focused build. You know, you don't usually get the Aghanim Scepter before you hit level 11, but if you do, it's still really, really good.
Tower is under attack.
Top tower pressure coming out now. Fortify going to go out, and the Night Stalker's going to run up here and try to just deflect this pressure, get himself a bit of free XP. Oh, did he give? No, he gave mana. Wait. He gave mana to a creep. So, up until, like, yesterday, I didn't know that Chakra Magic reduced the cooldown of the next ability cast by whoever it was used on. That amazed me. But they're going up presumably here. He's going to try to juke around the tower, but that mana leak, keeping him nice and low. The Illuminate going to go into the trees, but Wraith King does finish him off with another Wraithfire Blast. That's going to be the kill on the Wraith King. Meanwhile, down on bottom lane, Lich lost his life to a sneaky little Ricky and a Dazzle comboing up together there. So one kill on either side of the board here, and actually that fight recap didn't cover them both, but either way. Oh, he's an admin. What's up, buddy? Okay, yep, alright. No, I remember now. Like I said, too many names, man. Too many names. I can't remember who anyone is. And they're going to snipe out this ward when it had 1 second left on its lifespan, so I guess that's as optimal for late game as it can be, even though it did give 50 gold away. But, oh! Okay, somebody just filled me in on that Ricky play up on the top. He used his Quelling Blade on the ward. Ah, it makes so much sense. Why would I not? Oh, yeah, it makes sense. That's why I wouldn't think of it. But anyways, presumably getting gone on up on top again. He gets stunned out, but he's not going to be able to, yeah, they're not going to be able to finish him off. He walks back underneath the tower. He's got no mana, though, because of that mana leak. Ricky's going to come in here, but I don't think the two of them can really do much together. Maybe Ricky finds a good kill on the Coddle here. He's going to go for it. Does he throw down the Cloud? He's not doing it quite yet. Blink Strike forward, but he does get stunned out by the Wraith King, and they're going to try to walk away from this. Lokar and just fighting. Like, he doesn't really care right now. he's going to sit there and might actually get stunned out by the mana leak. Almost. Not quite, but he does have no more mana, so he can't really pursue, can't find that coddle, so walking around in the trees, but not going to get too much done there. Down on bottom lane, what's going on here? Yeah, but I'm going to go find himself a bounty rune. Lich going to continue farming up in the lane. It's kind of hard to tell who's been the core and who's been the support in this bottom lane. Abaddon's buying the wards, but Lich is usually the support, but they both got even last hits, so I guess they're both kind of just taking on that, you know, 3-4 role together. But up on top lane, missing the action here is the Coddle. Trades his life for the Night Stalker, and I think that's a trade that Perfectionvore is happy to make. You know, it is a support for a support, but Night Stalker has a lot more carry potential if he gets going early game. So if you bring him down, even if you trade it for the Coddle, I think that's okay. Oh man, more kills. Bottom lane, Lich and the Abaddon go in on the Gyrocopter and they finish him off. He throws out that call down, but it really means absolutely nothing as Galanti and Duke are both full health. And I apologize for saying that. That was, I know that's a racial slur. The G from Galanti kind of overlapped with his name at the same time, and I just kind of read it that way. My apologies if I offended anyone there. Anyways, up on top. Yeah, Ricky's just kind of doing his own thing. Sentry Ward does get placed down there, so if Lokarn isn't careful, he could end up in some trouble here. Dory doing pretty good on the mid lane. Has that Soul Ring now, but that's leaving him at a really low total health pool here. And I think if Windranger gets a good Shackle Shot, this could just straight up be a kill. She's going to run forward. If I were her right now, I would wind run forward, get that Shackle Shot, and kill the hell out of Dory. But the Lightning, oh man, does it finish her off? No! Oh, and there's the Power Shot. Clips him right with the quarter, and there we go. That finishes off the Leshrac. That's a lot of gold going the way of Alex. He's been having a really rough land, and so getting himself that little bit of extra gold is really, really nice.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
On top, it looks like we got a Blade Mail first coming out here for the Wraith King, and I think that's an acceptable build to go for because, like I said, late game has a lot of heroes that kind of can't control the amount of damage they output because of the Leshrac, because of you know, the Gyrocopter and stuff. You know, if you get the Gyrocopter running next to you and he turns on Rocket Barrage, you just keep up with him and you just keep fighting him, and that's how you win. Oh, I mean with the Blade Mail on, of course. But, you know, you just bring him down that way. And Leshrac in a team fight, like I said, he doesn't want to turn off that Pulse Nova. So if you can either force him to turn it off or just kill himself with the damage, you know, that's the good way to go. Ranger back to mid, gonna farm up here. Lokarn looking like he wants to roam in on mid here, but he doesn't have a lot of health, so he could be in a lot of trouble if he reveals himself a little too soon. Top lane, Void goes out on the Wraith King, but he's happy, healthy, doesn't care. He's got his level 6, so if they want to fight, they can. But they bring down the Wraith King. He is in nice and deep. There are 4 heroes here. They're going to get the stun. I think he is close to dead. Windranger comes in to throw out a Shackle Shot. But Wraith King, there's not much he can do here. He looks for the Ricky, but he's not going to find him. And now the Keeper of the Light on his way out. Going to turn around, just try to channel out and eliminate. Do whatever damage he can. Power Shot comes in from the back. Hits Story, but not enough to bring her down. And now Alex is going to be forced back away. Got his Phase Boots, got his Wind Run, so he should be fine to get out of here. Actually finds Night Stalker. I don't think this is a kill, though. I think if he had gone for the early Focus Fire, maybe you get that kill, but he should be fine. Gonna throw out another Power Shot, not gonna hit anything. Galanti continuing to just farm up on bottom lane, and he's doing fairly well. Curious to see what his item choice is going to go for, whether that's going to be a quick mech or if he's going to go for the Aghanim straight up. I doubt it'll be an Aghanims. We don't see that item all too much, and you know, the chances of it bouncing enough to be worth your while fairly limited, so I don't think that'll be the choice. But mech, very popular item on Lich. Blink is even really good on him as well because just the amount of burst damage he has, he can initiate quite well. They're going in on Alex Baby, but he gets Aphotic shielded, so that silence gets taken care of. No mana to turn this back around, though. No Shackle Shots, no Power Shots, nothing of the sort. The Lich comes in to help out, but he's not really offering all that much, and he gets voided up. And they chase him down. He gets Mistcoiled. There's the shield to keep him back, and he throws out the ultimate. There goes Presumably. He gets finished off. The Leshrac gets a good stun, but the heal keeps the Lich alive for just a second. Call down. Gonna land onto Duke, chasing him down. Will they finish him off? There it goes. Ricky jumps in, gets the kill, and now they're looking for the Windranger. Haste rune on this Ricky is just absolutely disgusting. Are they gonna find the kill? No, he doesn't want to go into that tower, but they're definitely gonna get themselves a tier 1 tower.
Radiant's top tower is
Up on top, though, the Wraith King just going to work.
structures are fortified.
Bringing down that tower as quickly as he can.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Is he going to finish it off here? He wants to be careful not to leave it in deny range, but it looks like the siege creep might put it there anyways. Yeah, one more shot from the siege creep, and tower's in deny range, so Wraith King either has to go balls deep on getting this, or they have to just back away. That said, they did clear out the wave really quick, so they're coming back in, and is there going to be a deny here? They're going to try for it. Well, they get the bounce away with the blinding light, but the Coddle just getting chased down, eaten alive, and the Abaddon doing so good at keeping everyone alive. I mean, the Coddle, the Lich in that last fight would have died for sure, the Wind Ranger would have died for sure, and now Coddle. So this Abaddon paying for himself quite a bit, pulling his weight, and they get themselves a kill on the Leshrac. They get themselves the tier 1 tower. It was not denied. Oh, actually, wait. Okay, so yeah, Wraith King got the kill on the tower, and they managed to pick themselves up a kill on the Leshrac, so well played there, and they get themselves a nice hefty lead. That is going to be a mechanism perched up on the Lich, so he'll have that relatively soon. He's got about 600 more gold to go, and just trying to stay down on the bottom lane, healing up with those Tranquil Boots, being careful not to attack. Yeah, Wind Ranger has gone for a first item Blink Dagger, so not going for that quick Aghanims, the slasher build that I was talking about earlier, but we still might see him go into that. Blink Aghanims is still quite a popular build nowadays, and I actually like it quite well myself. I mean, it allows you to just... The Blink Dagger is so valuable on this hero because it gives you such good shackle shots. I mean, your shackle shot is almost guaranteed if you know, the hero you're fighting is not insanely mobile themselves, you know. Anyways, they're going to go in on this tower. Focus Fire used up. That's going to be the level 1 Focus Fire. Once she hits level 11 in a second here, she'll probably level up the second one. But bursting out that wave with the Illuminate and the Power Shot, and they're going right back to work on the tower. They're going to come in and try to defend this. We got presumably charging forward. He doesn't have any more mana, though. He got wasted the silence out on that Wraith King, and there we go. Call down, going to hit on 3. Can they follow this in, though? They're being really timid about their pursuit. Can they do anything with this, though? The Leshrac turns on the Edict, wants to get that Pulse Nova going, but he's not close enough to make anything happen there. And the Shackle Shot into the Chain Frost. Oh my god, this is so much AoE damage. Can they bring him down? The Wraith King gonna revive, chasing down onto Dory. 2 auto attacks, and she is gone. Wind Ranger blinks forward. Is she gonna be able to pick this up? Shackle Shot goes out, but it's not gonna stun, or not gonna latch, rather. But Power Shot? Nope, not gonna not gonna hit. And so they turned it around. 2 kills and probably a tier 1 tower in that fight. There we go. Tower gonna drop, and there we go. So Perfectionvore looked like they were having a little bit of a rough laning stage, but as they're starting to get into these team fights, they're doing work. And like I said, this Blade Mail on the Wraith King has been doing quite a bit. I mean, that call down from the Gyro, the Leshrac. I mean, Leshrac's health pool is so small right now. I think with the point booster, he's sitting at about 800 health. So you know, okay, 900 actually. So I was a little bit off on that front, but. You know, the Wraith King, just all these heroes are gonna do so well, and I like how Perfectionvore has played this. I was talking a lot earlier about how AoE is kind of the meta, how it's kind of turned into this, you know, big team fight fest where you want to lay down as much AoE damage as possible, and that's why Leshrac, that's why Gyrocopter, that's why all these heroes are so popular. And what Perfectionvore has done this game is they've basically taken a team that doesn't care about AoE damage. They take the Wraith King, who's got 2 lives, then they add a Blade Mail to him so that he just reflects all this damage back, and I'm sure they're going to do the exact same thing with the Abaddon once he gets enough farm. They've got the mech on the Lich, so they're super survivable, and you know, the Wind Ranger herself is just kind of a damage machine who's super mobile and can keep herself away from all that damage. So Perfectionvore, especially if they... okay. So they are going to go for the Aghanims on the Keeper of the Light, but I really don't like that call. I mean, against the Night Stalker, it's never going to be daytime, which means you're never going to get that full vision and you're never going to get the heals off. And, you know, that heal is really good for counter-initiating that AoE, and if there was any hero but Night Stalker, I'd say it was a really good choice, but it's questionable this game. Let's jump over to the net worth tab, as it's quite different from the last hits that we've been looking at. Down on bottom lane, actually, we'll get into that in a second, but presumably gets hunted down in the trees there. There goes an Illuminate, a couple more auto attacks, and the Wraith King is going to be the one to secure the kill onto that support Night Stalker. Blink Dagger now up on the Wraith King. We saw him use that there as he dived into the trees, got that kill up, and there's, you know, this tower's going to go down.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Now they're bringing down the Wind Ranger. She's got that Focus Fire up and available. Looks like she's going for an Aghanims herself. We'll have that probably in the next 8 minutes or so, and this tower going to be facing the smackdown. They're going to move some heroes down to try to defend this. They've got the Dazzle coming in. They've got the Gyrocopter as well, but they're going to need everyone if they want to defend this. I mean, this is 5 heroes pressuring in on a tower, and like I said, you got a frontline Wraith King who actually doesn't have his ultimate, so if you bring him down once, that is going to be it, but whether or not they have the balls to go into this fight is another question entirely. First down the wave, working on the tower, still going that Focus Fire, doing work, and there goes the tower. 1 or 2 more attacks, that's it. Wraith King gets the last hit. Tier 2 tower on the bottom lane goes the way of Perfectionvore. Picking out the Bounty Rune. I don't know if they go Roshan here, but I think they might want to. Up on top lane. Ricky just kind of farming away, doing his thing. He wants to get that Diffusal Blade up as quickly as possible. Get that mana burn for the Wraith King. Try to get some extra damage for the supports, the Lich and the Coddle. But yeah, they're going to go in on the Roshan, and that's going to be it. Easy Rosh for them, I think. They've got vision outside the pit. They've got this ward right here, so it's going to spot the Dazzle as he moves over that direction. And their wards don't actually see all that much. If we hop over to their vision, this ward actually has super minimal vision in general, just because of that Night Stalker Darkness, and they're going to get initiated on now. The call down's going to go out into the pit here, and Dory charging in with that Pulse Nova activating. Is he going to be able to bring down the Wraith King? His ulti's still on cooldown, and they finish off the Wraith King. That's 3 kills down right off the bat, looking for that Leshrac, and he got Shallow Graved up. Who's going to come out on top of this fight? I can't tell. Duke and Galanti both going to fall, and Perfectionvore, they are going to drop. Aegis goes the way of Hora, and that is a huge swing. We're going to look at the gold graphs in just a second, and that is just going to be a huge spike back in the way of late game. I mean, 5 for nothing plus a Roshan, just the absolute ideal fight, and you got the Night Stalker to thank for that. I mean, this ward right here, it sees all the way up to here, but because of that Night Stalker ultimate, its vision only extended up to here, so the only hero they saw was a Dazzle roaming up this way, while everybody else charged in and across the river, and by the time they were over here, it was way too late. That cooldown was going, the Leshrac was pumping out damage, and Perfectionvore was done. Ricky looking for a kill up on top. He's going to go for it. Drops the silence. Kronosh going to walk out of that. He doesn't have his ultimate, so he can't get the blinding light off, and he's going to juke into trees, though. And they're bringing in the support. Do they have any detection? Dusk gets popped off, but he's just a little bit outside the radius, and the Ricky's going to walk away from that safely. Oh, Courier goes down. Ricky now has his Diffusal Blade, but I think he actually lost his Courier going for it. Where was this guy? Yeah, he was over here. So, yeah, the Courier was delivering the Diffusal, and it looks like they finished that off. So, Ricky giving away a free Courier kill. Not ideal, but at least he has his Diffusal, and he didn't lose the Diffusal in that engagement. Alex, baby, in a lot of trouble here. Actually, maybe not so much. The Gyrocopter was turning around a lot of damage, but he walks away from that with the Wind Run. That ability. Oh, man. I'm having a hard time with words today. Leshrac got himself that Bloodstone, and now sitting on a Cloak. We'll probably see that turn into a Glimmer Cape, but could just be Casual Cloak as well. Oh, they get a Shackle out onto Dory, and I think that's going to be the end of her. The Ricky's here to kind of muck stuff up. He's looking for a kill on Galanti, and can't find it. He got a Sentry Ward down. Lokarn trying to run away from this. Purges himself with the Diffusal Blade, and he'll walk away from that, but another great Shackle Shot lands. Leshrac's going to fall, but he only has a 2-second respawn time because of that Bloodstone, so he's going to be back in this fight in a matter of seconds, but the Gyrocopter just doing absolute work. Brings down the Wraith King, brings down the Abaddon, and Wraith King blinks out of that. They want no more of that fight. They got 2 down, and every one of them presumably is back up, or on late game. Presumably charging into the fight, looking for action, and the Ricky finds the Windrunner. Can he find the Keeper of the Light as well? He doesn't have. Oh, he does have the mana for the Blink Strike. He's gonna blink. Oh, he jukes into the trees. Can he get out? Nope, he's done. There's no TP on the Keeper, and he goes down. 4 heroes down on Perfectionvore, and we got late game. Might indeed have late game as they're charging in towards this bottom tier 2, and this will probably be it for the tower. Don't see any way they defend this.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Boom. Tower goes down, and Leshrac has picked up his Shadow Amulet, so that is going to be a Glimmer Cape. He's going to be invisible, throwing out all that damage that he does, and that's that's going to be it. Perfectionvore running themselves into a lot of trouble here. How can they, how do they turn this game back around? I think this Abaddon needs a blade mail for sure. Like I said, a lot of their strategy revolves around deflecting this AoE damage and reversing it and kind of turning these engagements back around. Now that they're starting to fall behind, they really need an extra blade mail to start doing that work. So, I mean, hell, maybe you even go it on Coddle. Like I said, Coddle's going for that Aghanims, but that's going to get less and less relevant the higher level Night Stalker is. I mean, as soon as this Night Stalker hits level 16, you can say bye-bye to that Coddle Aghanims. It's going to mean nothing. He's going to, you're going to have your permanent blinding light, sure, but what's that really mean when the rest of the item is disabled? Ricky roaming in the jungle here, looking for some kills. Maybe finds the Wraith King, but I think Wraith King probably beats him in a man fight, so he's not going to be able to find anything like that. The Abaddon, he's a rough target. Maybe the Coddle and the Lich as they walk up here, but they've got their team with them. Yeah, there's really no good targets for this Ricky right now. I mean, the only good target he has is the Keeper of the Light, and if Coddle can manage to get out of his cloud, he can Blinding Light and walk away. So, it's a rough game for him. It really is. Mana Leak goes out onto Dory. They force him to sit still for a second. He's actually losing a lot of his mana chasing in on here, but the Gyrocopter in the middle of this fight going to work, and then him and the Ricky bring down the Keeper of the Light. Can they find more? The call down hits, gets the Lich. Can they find the Wind Ranger as well? She gets out of that with Wind Run. Might be able to turn around, do some damage from the back line, but they are on full retreat mode now as the Wraith King is trying to run away. And 1 second until his ultimate comes off cooldown and he falls. That is so unfortunate. The Aegis gets reclaimed there, and Gyrocopter is going to be back up to full life as they push in on this Tier 2 tower. Can they go into the base on this? I don't think so, but they're going to get this Tier 2. Maybe they pressure top off of it as well. Yeah, Spriggan's in the chat. Deathball is real. Of course it is, man. Like I said, AoE is the meta, and, I thought Perfectionvore might have had something innovative, had something new here, but, we're seeing it crumble to the Deathball, the same thing that we've been seeing across the rest of the meta, this AoE damage, the Call Down, the Pulse Nova, the Diabolic Edict, all this stuff just doing work. I really like the combo of the Dazzle in this draft as well. You wouldn't really think of Dazzle as a hero that combos well with these heroes. When you think Dazzle, you think, Shadow Fiend, you think Slardar, you think things like that. You think Axe, but in this draft, I mean, it makes Edict do a lot more damage in team fights, which, Edict isn't really a team fight ability, but it still helps. And on top of that, you have the Gyro dishing out extra damage with the Flat Cannon. Oh man, that Shackle Shot hits the creeps that they'd been using to stack the Ancients, and Glimmer Cape actually goes out onto Hora. He's going to throw down the Call Down now. They're trying to turn this back around. Can they do it? Oh my god, there's so much damage. They're trying to bring down Kronosh. He gets shielded up, but it doesn't matter. He gets brought down. The Chain Frost is bouncing everywhere, hitting the Ancients, and there we go. 4 heroes down. Oh my god, I thought they had the Gyrocopter for sure, but the Leshrac comes in, gives him the Glimmer Cape. He survives for just a second, and that gives him enough time to pop off that BKB and start lifestealing up with the Helm of the Dominator. And between the Ancients and all the heroes that were sitting there, the amount that he lifestealed was just insane, and now he's got a double damage. Actually, I think he had it up for that fight. Yeah, the double damage rune, all those creeps, the Flat Cannon was just insane, and, the Call Down was enough, and now they're going into the base. Wind Ranger trying to throw out the power shot to deflect the wave a little bit, but this tower is going to go down in seconds here. Is there a fortify? No, it's been used up. Shackle Shot hits on the Leshrac, but it doesn't matter. This Rax is going to get hit on. They've got 5 heroes back up, but do they want to fight into this again? I mean, all of these abilities are back off cooldown. They've got the Call Down again. They've got the Darkness. Ricky has everything, and they're going to go for it. Blink away from the Ricky, and Call Down defensively just to cover their retreat, and they're back away. They give themselves a melee Rax, and we got late game. Definitely looking strong here in this match. Oh man. To be honest, I hope they finish soon. I got a hockey game at 8 o'clock. And if I miss that, the team's not going to be happy. That's okay. We'll see. Bloodstone, 17 charges on the Leshrac now, so he's just sitting fat as can be, and definitely happy with it. I mean, the respawn time on this guy, what's that going to be? Respawn time reduced by 4 seconds per Yeah, okay, so reduced by 4 seconds per charge, so he's got 17, which means that 40 is 61 seconds. So until his respawn is more than 60 seconds, he's going to be respawning instantly. That's pretty nuts. Wind Ranger now has her Aghanims up, so going to have that focus fire available almost all the time. And we'll see what she accentuates that with, whether it's going to be a Maelstrom or if she's going to go straight into the crits, the slasher build, or something else. I do like the crits first. It helps you bring down those high priority targets like the Shrek, like the Gyrocopter. But we'll see. We'll leave it in her hands. Only 1,000 gold in her pocket right now, so she doesn't have too many options quite yet. Wraith King farming away, about to get a Sanjin Yasha. He's about 200 gold off of that, and once he gets that, that's going to be a little bit extra damage, a little bit of chase potential, but will it really matter in these team fights is the question. Abaddon still poor as ever, got nothing but a Soul Ring and a set of Tranquils. Like I said, I think he really needs to start working towards Blade Mail. He needs that. The more of that AoE damage they can reflect back onto Leshrac and Gyro, the better. And whether or not it'll matter in this fight, I don't know. I mean, it's gotten to a point where Gyro and Lash are both really survivable with the Black King bars they have, with the increased health pool. I mean, 1,600 health on Leshrac, 1,400 on the Gyrocopter. It's going to be hard to bring these heroes down even without reflected damage. I mean, those Blade Mails do a lot early on. When the Wraith King got it, it was good timing, but, you know, I think now, I just don't know if it's going to do enough. And we're going to see another Roshan go down. Aegis of the Immortal goes to the Shrek so that he can just continue to pulse out that damage even after death. And I think that's a good call. I mean, Gyro, he does alright with an Aegis, but I think a lot of his damage comes out from his initial burst of damage, throwing out the Rocket Barrage, throwing out that call down. And then afterwards, it's debatable how much extra damage he's going to do, especially if he revives. Throws out a call down, hits absolutely nothing, but it doesn't matter. That ability short cooldown. By the time they gather a Creep Wave and push into the base, they're probably going to have it back up anyways. Dazzler got that Solar Crest as well. That item just... oh, man. It does so much work. It does so much work. It's so good. Actually, we never checked that graph. I was talking about that earlier, and that's the swing where that Roche fight happened. But, yeah, I'll look at that in more depth after this action subsides, but I just glanced over at the net worth graph, and I was like, oh yeah, I said I was going to look at the graph, but I didn't. But... anyways, looks like they're ready to pressure up. Gyrocopter has the call down in about 5 seconds here. They just need to heal him up to full, get everybody together, and I think they can start pushing in towards the base. I don't think they have too much to fear. Their high ground aggression is going to be very, very good. Ricky got a Black King bar of his own now, so he's going to be able to run around the fight and just do exactly as he pleases. And it looks like they're sending a couple towards mid to kind of just wrap around and see if they can pick off these backline heroes. And that's exactly what they're doing. They're chasing in there. They get the silence out on Kronosh, and meanwhile, they're just going to go to work in on the tower. Dory standing up on the high ground, ready to use up that Aegis, but doing whatever damage he can beforehand. And oh man, the call down just zones them out. They're getting pushed back, trying to run for the base right now. Alex Baby doing whatever he can. They finally bring down the Leshrac, but that is just the Aegis. And meanwhile, Gyrocopter and the Dazzler are working away at this tower here. Leshrac's up here, pops off that Black King bar. Still going absolutely nuts here. Can he find the Wraith King? I don't think so. The Focus Fire is going to do a little bit too much damage, so he backs away. But still, they got this tower, probably the racks as well. I don't see any way Perfectionvore gets in here and makes this, turns this into a hold. There we go. The fight breaks out yet again. Dory looking for action. They do get a stun out onto the Wind Ranger, but can they bring her down before she gets back to base? Oh, a good shackle shot, but the Shallow Grave is there to keep her alive for now, and they've got the Solar Crest up on her as well. He evades one attack, evades two attacks. Oh, and he denies. Oh man, that Solar Crest, 30% chance, dodges 2 in a row. Perfectionvore got to be salty about that, but either way, another melee Rax goes down. The range feeling some chip damage as well. Lokarn trying to run out of here. Can he find it? He's got Blink Strike in just a second. He purges. Oh, he doesn't purge the dust off himself. He doesn't have a purge. He is going to fall in a second for sure, but Gyrocopter disconnects, and presumably we got late game is going to disconnect. I apologize if I'm confusing anyone. Their team name is called We Got Late Game, but in previous seasons of the UGC, their team name was actually, presumably, We Got Late Game. That was their full team name. And now they've got a player name, presumably, and their team name is just We Got Lategame. So every time I say presumably, I'm referencing the team, but I'm also referencing the player. It's a mess. I'll try to rectify that issue. But anyways, Ricky, about to go down. Gyrocopter's done. Oh, they say wait.
How the hell did you
Yeah,
see
okay.
me?
So they let the Ricky die. They pause. What's going on? What's going on? Lurka, how you doing, my friend? You've been pretty quiet this game. Like I said. Ah, there we go! In 6A4 Pro Play, Leshrac has a 60% win rate with Glimmer Cape and a 64% win rate with Bloodstone. Yeah, that Bloodstone is all important. I think Leshrac, if you don't get the Bloodstone, or if you get it way too late, it ends up just being an absolute disaster item. I'd actually like to see the fall off of timings versus win rate for Leshrac. Like, if you get it at this point, what's your win rate? If you get it at this point, what's your win rate? Because he it seems like one of those items that's so essential that you have to get it every game. But even in a losing game, you like get 5 of the items out of it, and then you finally pick up the last piece of it at like 40 minutes as your throne's going down. You lose all your charges, and the game's just done. But yeah, I don't know. Anyways, we're still paused, waiting for something to happen. Yeah, fair enough. I'm not blaming you for not interrupting, but yeah, no, it's been a really action-packed game. I mean, we just kind of go from team fight to team fight to team fight, and I mean, that's kind of what these drafts want. But this Ricky, it's been hilarious watching this guy play, because he's kind of just running around finding people, and then as soon as he's got one extra person on his team, like the Gyro or the Leshrac or something, they just go, and it's like 2v5, but they've turned it around every single fight. Like, I think it was up in here, they found like a lich or something, and it was just Gyro and Ricky, and they just went ham, and they had Black King bars up and stuff. They killed 3 people, and by the time the rest of their team showed up, they were just cleaning up the fight. It was ridiculous. I mean, Ricky's been doing work, and he's made a couple really ballsy plays, gone for some kills he maybe shouldn't have, but I mean, the results still speak. He's 10-2-6, and he's been doing very, very well for his team. Butterfly now completed up on the Gyrocopter. I would recommend that as well. Unfortunately, I'm not equipped with an awesome soundboard. I miss the old Coddle Guy cast. Like, when he was casting on his own channel way back when, he had the soundboard. It was funny stuff. It was funny stuff. There were some times where I just couldn't take it seriously, and I was like, alright, dude, like, it's gotta be done. But, like, no, it was good. It was why he was funny. And I really wish I had that going, the Benny Hill theme for all these team fights. But either way, 2 sets of racks down. Well, actually, not, the range rack's still standing on bottom, but it's only a matter of time. Leshrac hanging around on top, looking for some action. He knows there's people up there, but, not going to be able to initiate, as he doesn't really have anyone there to help him out. Gyro picks up an invis, and he's going to make his way in through the enemy jungle, an initiation of some sorts, but he realizes he's got a Ricky on his team, which means that there's probably detection laying around, so he's a little bit more careful. Looks like the Wind Ranger is going to go for those crits. He's picked up the broadsword, and still got a little ways to go before she completes that full item, but
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I think we're just counting the minutes here until this last Rax gets cracked, and we head into game number 2.
Dark light.
Alright.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
So, everything's very calm and passive right now. Everyone just kind of sitting, waiting for their opening, presumably just kind of up in the base. And yeah, he's got that Aghanim Scepter up. This is what I was talking about earlier, is that Coddle, like, even if he gets the Ags, which he still doesn't have, you know, their vision is just nothing. I mean, if we cut over to the dire vision right now, sorry, that's the yeah, dire vision right now is abysmally low, and the second Night Stalker hits that R button, it's gonna get even smaller. So they're in their base, they're trying to defend whatever they can, but their tier 4s are taking chip damage. The top tower is going to start taking some damage soon, but late game really just hasn't decided how and when they want to go in on this, and maybe they're waiting for Roche, but that's a long while to wait. And I got a hockey game to play in 2 hours, boys. You better finish this game off. Alright, clearing out top lane now, and Leshrac just chilling on mid. Like I said, they're being really passive about this, and I really think they have the potential to just charge up that hill and go for it if they want to. But whether or not that fight is actually going to break out is another question indeed. But yeah, Perfectionvore, they are holding waves really well with that power shot and that illuminate combo. It is hard to get a full wave up and onto that hill, but yeah, I mean, look at that. The power shot goes in, you lose half your creep's health, but if the Dazzle's on point with those heals, they could probably force it. But once again, they're just trying to wait for Roche, and it's going to be a while before that's back up. I don't know how long they want to wait. Being very, very patient. Got a Geometry set up now as well, which means that they're going to be removing any of that vision that the Dire had before. And like I said, yeah, your vision on the Dire side, you can see they've got like this, and that's it. Very small portion of the map. Ricky just chilling in the Roche pit. Yeah, this is going to be a long respawn too. Come on. Not gonna happen, buddy. Yeah, they're just waiting for it. Roshan respawns in 2 minutes 35 seconds, so that's gonna be the indicated time there. So we got, yeah, 2.5 minutes. Just sit and wait. And Perfectionvore being very, very diligent about keeping themselves. Keeping the creep wave out of their base, making sure they don't take too much extra chip damage. I mean, their best bet is to just fight on the high ground, make sure that they, you know, get the fight that they want. Make sure the Wraith King's up front. Wind Ranger can do damage from the back line, but you know, it's a tough hill to climb. You got a lot of really fat heroes on the enemy team. Level 2 Diffusal Blade up on the Ricky right now. He's got that Yasha as well in the Black King bar. The Leshrac, he's gonna have a Shiva's Guard any second now. I think he just needs to, yeah, he just needs to have the courier deliver it to him. So this next fight's gonna get messy, but they're still waiting it out. 1 minute 30 seconds till that Roshan respawns, and back up to top lane to farm. Don't know what there's to talk about, man. Ow. Full Aghanims up on Coddle now, and it is daytime, so he's got the heal bombs, he's got the full vision. But like I said, the second Night Stalker hits R, that all goes away, and you know, the Night Stalker isn't level 16 yet, so he can't keep that that abuse of day-night time up. Okay, so wait, what's the duration? Is 50. And, oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, that's what it is. Okay, so the duration is 50 seconds, but at level 3 the cooldown is 80. So you end up with 30 seconds of downtime between every single night cycle. So he's just trying to work hard to get that level 16 up. And once he does, then that Aghanims is going to go bye-bye. Well, its usefulness is going to disappear because, like I said, there's going to be no heal bombs. There's going to be no flying vision. You just get all you get is the 2 extra abilities, and recall doesn't matter all that much at this stage of the game. I mean, you got you got no one to recall anywhere because everyone's already sitting inside of your base. And Blinding Light, sure, that's going to be helpful, but you can get that by just casting your ultimate in a team fight anyways. So I really think this Coddle could have and should have gone for something else, but there we go. Roshan finally up. They know it's time. They're going to go in, bring this down. We're gonna grab the Aegis, and a Monkey King bar will be up on the Gyrocopter in a second as well. So they've given themselves the absolute best chance they have at taking this engagement, and well, we'll see what happens when they finally do. Perfectionvore, though, sees them all go off the map and realizes they're in Roshan. Throws out a power shot, but doesn't matter. Roshan's down. Aegis and Cheese go out, and Dory gonna grab the cheese as well. So yeah, game has almost gone to unwinnable stage. Check over at the golden XP graphs, 30,000 on both gold and net worth. End of the comeback meta, and all of 6.83 played 6 teams came back from a net worth deficit of 25k a little over a month ago. A little over a month into 64. 3 teams have already done that. Huh. Alright, Gyrocopter just walking right into it, pops off the Black King bar, going to work with that flat cannon, forces the entirety of Perfectionvore back into their base. Meanwhile, they're just going to turn it back around, start to work on the racks, but the fortification is there to try to hold this out. Blink in, stun onto the Gyrocopter. They want to bring him down, but he's just going to throw out the call down, starts going to work, and this AoE damage is just doing it. There goes Dory into the on the Coddle. Starts trying to bring him down. Will he be able to do it? There we go. Glimmer K-pop. GG has been called by Perfectionvore, but they're not. Are they going to even finish this fight? No, they're not going to finish the fight. They let the throne fall, and that will be it. GG, well played, everybody, and that is going to be game 1 going to We Got Late Game. Thank you, everybody, so much for tuning in. It has been an absolute blast, and I'm going to try to get the next lobby going up as soon as possible, because I got to leave in an hour. Let's do this. Quick, go, into the lobby. Oppa Gangnam Style. Alright, let's start over the match title. Thank you guys so much for watching. It has been a blast. We'll be in the next game in like 2 seconds. So grab yourself a drink of water. Hop right back here. This is the UGC League, and I am Captain Canuck. See you in a second. Oh, there we go. Forgot to unmute myself. Wham bam. Thank you, ma'am. We are into the game. Let's go. Presumably, well, we got late game versus Perfectionvore. Anyone joining us, I explained during the last game that we got late game. Their team name actually used to be, presumably, We Got Late Game. That was like their full team name. And now it's just we got late game, and they got a player named presumably. And so every time I start saying their name, I go presumably, and it doesn't work out. But anyways, yeah, we're into the game. This is the UGC League Season 4, and this is... Wait, what? What is what? Okay, that was really weird. I was trying to figure out what was going on. It said, like, it was this person's turn to pick, and the reserve time was, like, over here, and something was weird for a second there. But anyways, we're into the draft, and let's do this. Game number 2 in a 2-game series. Of course, whoever wins each game gets a single point, and so you have a potential to go 2-0 or 1-1 in the series, and we got late game already up 1 point. They're looking good as they move themselves up towards the higher levels of this league. I remember last season they did fairly well for themselves. I can't remember exactly where they turned out. Actually, let's see if we can look that up here. Previous season, Season 3 final ranking. Okay.
10 seconds remaining.
Where are they?
5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Where are these guys? Oh, were they in NA Steel last season? Let's see. Control F. We got late game. Okay, so NA Steel. They were second place in NA Steel, actually. Okay. So that's where they were. So they've moved up to the North American Invite Division for this season. So all the top teams from all of the other leagues of previous seasons get invited into the invites. So We Got Late Game did well in their league last season, but how they're going to fare in this season in the invite is another question altogether. But yeah, definitely doing well last season, and we'll see how this one plays out for them. I don't know if I've seen Perfectionvore around
5 seconds remaining.
Around the league before. Yeah, it doesn't look like they were in Season 3, so they're a new team, and I know jack squat about them. Does look like we have a couple of their fans in chat, though. So they got some sort of a following. How good that following is another question, but alrighty, so into the draft, and our bans are looking exactly the same as they did last game. We've got Undying, Io, and Pugna all banned out. These are literally the exact same bans. I think Shadow Fiend was second phase last game. What was the other ban from last game? It was Axe, I think. I think Axe was banned out in the first phase. So maybe potential for Axe here, but I don't know. There's still a lot of big heroes. Like I said, the Quap, the Leshrac, the Gyrocopter, all still in the pool. We'll see if Perfectionvore are going to go for more of a standard lineup this game or not.
Queen.
They do go for a Queen of Pain, so they're kind of opting towards that AoE already. So I think that might be their. I think their game plan might be stray away from that kind of counter initiation they were going for last game and just go for what the meta demands, which is AoE damage, AoE control, and just try to bring the enemy team down. But they did give We Got Late Game 2 picks right off the bat here. So if they want to go for that Gyro Leshrac again, they are free to do so, and that does absolute work. I mean, I think Leshrac does fairly well against Queen of Pain in the mid if they get matched up there. And of course, that is, you win the AoE damage battle there. So see what they go for. I think those were their first 2 picks in last game as well. Whoopsies. Got my stuff on the screen there. Oh, hey. Oh, I see. So they do go for the little Shrek. We'll see if they follow that up with the Gyrocopter as well. I don't imagine that'll be it, but well, I imagine that very well could be it. I don't know why my words are backwards today, but burn time again, man. Into their reserve time on the first couple picks. No problem, guys. Take your pick. Or take your time. Take your
10
time.
seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Oh, they're going to go for the Phoenix in the first phase. That's interesting.
Dire
Okay.
team pick.
Phoenix is a really interesting hero now because a lot of his natural counters have kind of fallen out of popularity. I mean, Sniper and Troll were two heroes that were really good at dealing with the Phoenix because, Sniper, you just turn on that Mask of Madness and you just chip away at the egg. And of course, Troll, because he has a global attack speed buff, so you give everyone the ability to kind of get rid of that egg. But
Dire team ban.
both of those heroes are kind of gone, so it's fallen to a lot of other heroes to deal with Phoenix in less natural ways. I mean, you gotta pick up something like a Lion and pre-cast your Hex so that when Phoenix dives in, she can't get her egg off. That sort of thing. And the Silencer to try to keep her from doing too much work in a fight. You gotta play very, very smart to deal with a Phoenix nowadays, and so picking it up in the first couple picks isn't as bad an idea as it used to be. It used to be that, like, hey, their team has no attack speed, let's pick a Phoenix. But now you can kind of just get away with drafting it right into your lineup. And I'm curious to see if this is going to be an offlane Phoenix or a support Phoenix. We've seen both in quite a few games of, well, multiple amateur leagues, but I think the offlane Phoenix is the more preferred choice. So, anyways, getting back into the bans here, once again, burning reserve time over on Perfectionvore, really thinking about what they want to get rid of here. I think the Gyrocopter has to be taken out of this stage of bans because it is so valuable to both teams. And let's see, We Got Lategame has the first pick of this next phase, so I think Perfectionvore is probably going to have to ban out the Gyro. They ban out the Spirit Breaker like they did last game, but we'll see if they go for the Gyro as well. We got Lategame. What are they going to look to get rid of? Well, I think they need... Okay, so they're going to ban out the Silencer. Really good call there. I was going to say the Silencer is a hero that does really well against Phoenix. I had to play that matchup yesterday, and it sucked. The reason it's terrible is because if you apply Last Word onto Phoenix, if you apply Last Word onto Phoenix, the only option she has on to get away is her Icarus Dive, and the second she casts Icarus Dive, she becomes silenced and will not be unsilenced until she comes back around on the full circle of her Icarus Dive. So you can basically prevent her from escaping by using Last Word on Phoenix. It's a real pain in the butt, and of course that means that if you use it on her when she's about to initiate, she goes back into her team and also cannot cast off that egg. So Silencer, really good call there, and works very well against We Got Late Game's draft so far. So they're going to ban that out. Gyrocopter banned out by Perfectionvore as well, so that's going to be taken out as predicted. See what We Got Late Game go for with this ban. I think this is just going to be more of a comfort ban. They don't really have too much of an indication of what Perfectionvore want to go for, so it's probably just going to be something that they think might work well with the draft. I think an Axe might be a reasonable ban out here, maybe even like a Magnus or something. Some sort of AoE control on a frontliner to kind of soak up some of the damage that the Queen of Pain... soak up some of the damage so that the Queen of Pain can dish out all of hers. What the heck? Keep checking Twitter, and there's a bunch of conversations between like Wagamama and Sing Sing and a few other guys like Scriff. They're all playing Heroes of the Storm today, and I don't know why.
Radiant team pick.
It's terrible, man. Terrible game. Alright, so the Keeper of the Light is going to be banned out for We Got Late Game here. They're fearing that might come out again by Perfectionvore. I don't think it was something they really had to fear, but, maybe a comfort pick thing again. Abaddon going to be picked up by We Got Late Game this game, so getting rid of a couple of the picks that Perfectionvore ran last game. And I'm curious to see how this works out for them. I mean, the Abaddon with the Leshrac is very, very good. Like I said, Leshrac has a lot of survivability issues early on, kind of keeping his... keeping his damage sustained in a team fight is really difficult, especially against heroes with a lot of burst magic like the Queen of Pain and the Lion. You just gotta bring him down. You finger him, you scream of pain, he's done. And so that Leshrakt's going to compensate for that quite a bit, give him a bit of a buffer, and allow him to stand inside the team fights. And we'll see if they dual lane this with the Phoenix. It's something that's definitely possible. It takes away from a lot of the experience that the Phoenix would be getting, but it could be compensated for with kills. I mean, Phoenix is a hero that takes her own life to use her spells, and so she can pop that shield really whenever she wants to. I mean, if you put the Aphotic Shield on a Phoenix, she Icarus dives in and then activates the Fire Spirits, that's going to pop off that shield, and then you've got the Fire Spirits and the burning damage from your Icarus dive already going. So it's definitely a way, one way that you could run this. Now the Beastmaster going to be picked up here by Perfectionvore, so some single target lockdown with that roar going to be really, really good against both the Phoenix and the Leshrakt, but whether or not it's enough to sustain a team fight is another question. That Abaddon can, of course, purge off that stun from the roar with the Aphotic Shield, and you know, those boards are, you know, pretty easily eaten up by the damage that the Leshrakt pours out. So Beastmaster's going to have a hard time doing a lot of work in this game, but he does have that attack speed aura, so he's kind of a soft counter to the Phoenix, helps his team deal with that a little bit easier. So we'll see how this matchup plays out. Really interesting as it stands. The Phantom Lancer going to be able to do work as well. I mean, they do have quite a bit of AoE damage to deal with the illusions. They've got the Queen of Pain, they've got the Lion, and even the Beastmaster offers some. And now, actually, the Winter Wyvern. I like this pick quite a bit. That Winter's Curse against the Phantom Lancer is super strong, and it works against really any target on We Got Late Game except for Abaddon. I mean, if you use that Winter's Curse on Phoenix, she's probably going to die. You use that on Leshrakt, probably going to die. You use it on Phantom Lancer, he might not die, but at least he's disabled for 5 seconds while your Queen of Pain and your Lion and your Beastmaster go ham on him. So Perfectionvore are going to look for a carry to round out their lineup here. Probably curious what they're going to pick up. Sven would have been a good call. Works very, very well with the Winter Wyvern, pulling all those heroes in. But, you know, I actually wouldn't mind seeing a Darkseer on Perfectionvore here. It leaves them without a true carry, but if you put the Queen of Pain on the safe lane and you go with like a Beastmaster mid and a Darkseer off lane, Darkseer and the Wyvern together can just basically turn all of We Got Late Game's damage against themselves. I mean, you create a couple Phantom Lancer illusions and they just go nuts, and of course you get the vacuum into the Winter's Curse and everything goes wrong. You literally turn their entire team against themselves, not only by making them attack one target, but you know, by making illusions of them which attack more people. So it could be an interesting draft if they wanted to go that route, but like I said, that does leave them without a lot of late game carry potential, so they might not opt to go that route. Disruptor is going to be the pickup for We Got Late Game here, so a little bit of AoE silence, a little bit of control, and of course they can always glimpse back that Queen of Pain if she gets forced out of the fight.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
And Slardar is going to be the pickup. Okay. Alright. I can see this going one of two ways. Either it crumbles horrifically and Perfectionvore lose in 20 minutes, or it goes super, super well for them and they win in like 25. Like, they've got a really, really snowbally lineup that can do a lot of damage to We Got Late Game really early on, but whether or not they have the play to make that happen is another question entirely. But we'll see how that plays out as we get into the game here. Introducing the teams over on the side of Perfectionvore. Up on the Dire side, we got Duke playing on the Lion, Kronosh playing on the Winter Wyvern, Galanti on the Queen of Pain, Daka going to be taking the Beastmaster, and over towards top, we got Ale Bellamy, I don't know. I tried it last game, couldn't do it. Slardar. Down on the bottom lane, we got Hora taking up that Phantom Lancer. We've got Dory playing the Leshrakt over on the Abaddon. We've got Vovan Pornoradev. I don't know. I had him muted when we got into this game, so I don't know what. I don't know. Lokarn going to be taking on the Phoenix and presumably himself on the Disruptor. We've got some 5-man action defending out their jungle here. Of course, oh, the other introduction that I forgot. We got Lurkaderp helping us out on stats. She's going to be providing some pop-ups throughout the course of this game, keeping you guys informed on, you know, what's all the rage in the meta, what the game is going like, what the stats and the trends are telling us. And Hawk flies in here. Oh, gets auto-attacked once. Will they bring it down? They do get another attack, and that Hawk goes down. One last hit on the Phoenix already. Oh my god. 77 experience for the one Hawk? What? Okay. These Hawks are valuable, man. Looks like we're going to have an engagement down here on the bottom lane. We got 5 versus just 4 here, but it doesn't look like they want to go for it. The Phoenix goes for a dive in, and this actually could turn disastrous. They're charging in here. They realize they have the numbers advantage. Daka going to get finished off by one PL illusion inside the pit. The Lightning Storm just doing work, and there we go. Slardar gets finished off. 2 bounty runes go the way of Perfectionvore, but they lose 2 kills. And is it worth it? I don't think so, friends. Interesting, though. Perfectionvore looked like they were going for that aggro lane with the Wyvern and the Lion, and upon seeing that down at bottom, they opt to switch the Abaddon and the Phantom Lancer up towards top so that they end up against the Queen of Pain, and the Phoenix ends up against the Tri-Lane here. And I think this actually works out in late game's advantage if there's not an additional rotation from Perfectionvore. I think if they... I think Perfectionvore rotate their lineup around, make sure that they get some more support up on top to try to shut down the Phantom Lancer, then things could start to get ugly for late game. But for now, Lokarn's going to be happy in the safe lane because this gives him a lot of safe room to, to safely gather experience. And although the Lion's zoning him out fairly well, if he can just kind of squeak up towards here, he's still going to be getting experience from where the creep equilibrium is. So he's going to have room to do a lot of stuff with the experience that he gets. He's level 2 already, and a big part of Phoenix is keeping him at level 1 because it's really easy to zone the hero out. But when he's in a safe lane like this, he's gonna get experience, and there's not too much you can do to stop it. You can't even side pull on the Radiant side like you can up on the Dire. You can just pull this camp over and make sure that the safe laner doesn't get anything, but that's not gonna happen, so... Because you do have a mid lane Beastmaster up against that Leshrac. I'm not sure how this matchup plays out. I think Leshrac wins just because of the range advantage and the harass advantage on the Lightning, but I think Beastmaster should be able to farm safely with the two boars, so he'll get himself a small amount of gold and hopefully not come out of that lane too far behind. But yeah, this aggro lane looking very aggressive. Like, they're kind of moving in under the tower, wanting to get in there, do some work, maybe see if they can catch out Lokarn, but... they're having a hard time doing it. And the Lion actually pulled the creep wave camp there, so they kind of forced the Phoenix out of hiding, and they're going to push him back away. He's forced to Icarus dive, and they're going to clean up this creep wave, and meanwhile, their wave is going to move in, get down towards this tower, and they're probably going to dish out some damage on the tower as well. So, this aggro lane, while not getting the kills it wants to, it is doing work. It is aggressive, it's pushing the tower, and hopefully it'll get them some... Oh, actually, Duke could be in a lot of trouble here. He's hiding in the trees, and he gets blocked in here. And will he be able to get out? He sneaks out through another little crevice in the trees, but yeah, he gets spotted out by the Phoenix, and Phoenix gets the kill. Yeah, I mean, the other heroes weren't even trying to help him. Like, the Slardar wasn't making a move. The Wyvern was getting the rune. Like, they were like, okay, yeah, you're dead. Just try to juke it out as long as you can. Prolong your life. But Phoenix getting a kill this early is really dangerous. I mean, Phoenix experiences everything, and she's level 4 right now up against this Tri-Lane, and it's going to mean quite a bit. I mean, the Slardar can't even farm against her. I mean, even if you get the stun right now, oh, actually, this could be super dangerous as he gets the stun as the Icarus dive goes off. I was going to say, even if you get the stun, she Icarus dives away, but she tried to Icarus dive prematurely, and the stun catches her right in the first second of that ability. So, kill goes out to Perfectionvore, well played by them, and the Slardar picks him. Actually, no, Slardar didn't get that kill and went over to the Wyvern. So, either way, kill's a kill, and that XP gets shared between the two of them. So, last hit's looking fairly even across the board. We got 18-3 on the Phantom Lancer and 15-3 on the Slardar. Like, Slardar spent a little bit more time brawling than the Phoenix and then the Phantom Lancer has, rather, but still doing all right nonetheless. Mid lane though, Leshrac is beating the crap out of Beastmaster. We kind of expected that, like I said, just because of the range advantage and that lightning harass. He's up 8-5 on the Beastmaster, 19-4 on the Leshrac, so he's doing fairly well for himself there. Phoenix pulls the easy camp once again. Actually, that was by herself. And now gets hexed up. Could be in some trouble here, facing a lot of burst damage, but does Icarus dive away. And there is a TP here in by the Disruptor. And oh man, the creeps have blocked Duke into the trees here. Oh no, this is just a disaster for him. And Wyvern's gonna help out Duke for a second, keep him alive, but doesn't matter. The auto attacks go out, and Disruptor. Actually, no, Lion was killed by the creeps, so they share the golden experience there, but either way, that is still a dead Lion, and Phoenix getting ever so close to that level 6 where this lane could really, really turn around. Alright, Duke kind of roaming around now. Looks like he wants to just play some wards. Maybe help out mid lane, but I think Dory's too far back to be able to really get caught out here. And they drop a high ground ward so they can kind of see what's going on up on the high ground. But Lion not going to be able to make a gank here. He's kind of just roaming back and forth, unsure of what to do. Yeah, he makes his way back around. He's going to head over to mid, but this is leaving the safe lane very open and susceptible. And now that Phoenix, like I said, he's got that level 6. He's got that Phoenix Sun, and despite not having enough mana for it quite yet, he does have the Enchanted Mango that he can pop off any time that he needs to use that. So Lion finds Lokarn out in the jungle here, but he goes for an Icarus dive away, but they roar him up, and he's going to get brought down there. And yeah, unfortunately got hexed up mid-dive. Actually, I think if he had dove downward, he might have survived. If he, like, even if he got hexed up around here or something, you know, you hippity-hop as a frog over to here, and maybe Beastmaster doesn't catch you and you get your ultimate off. But unfortunately, that doesn't happen. Phoenix ends up dead, and that's going to be the second kill of the game for Perfectionvore. Oh, I didn't change my overlays. My bad. Sorry, friends. It's always hard for me to remember that one because, oh, alright, mid lane action. I'll get back to that later, but anyways. Phoenix just gonna pop off that, oh, alright. Okay. Pops off the Supernova, and I thought they were actually just gonna leave that Wyvern there because I don't think there was much the Wyvern could have done to keep himself alive there, but he presumably glimpses him away, keeps him safe, sends him back to the bottom lane where he can continue to help push in on towards that bottom tower. But the Abaddon is down there, going to be able to defend, or offer some defense. Oh, Galanti, he looks like he's in trouble here. Oh, maybe. Phantomlaster can't really get in on him. He wants to, though. He's suckered behind the tower. No, he's alright. Yeah, those illusions, if those multiplied once, that Queen of Pain would have been dead, but they didn't, and Quap walks away.
Bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is
Quap
under
picks and bans.
attack.
Quap is the most picked man hero of 684 with a 96% pick and ban rate, and has the highest win rate of the top 5 most picked heroes this patch. Yeah, Quap's a good hero. Oh, Glimpse didn't wait long enough, and Duke gets to walk away. Only gets moved a couple inches. Kind of